welcome back to my channel. In today's tutorial, I am going to talk about locking mechanism in a Java. In Java, locks are mechanism used to manage access to shared resources by multiple threads to avoid race condition and ensure thread safety. Java provides different types of locking mechanism, including synchronized block, reentrant block, and more advanced construct like read-write lock. So here I am going to talking about the locking at the beginner level. So first of all, we are going to talk about synchronized block, which is the beginner friendly. The synchronized keyword in Java is the simplest way to implement locking. It ensures that only one thread can execute a block of code at a time. Just for example, we can create some like class where we can increment some number, and then we can see that how synchronized block basically work. For that, we are going to create one package over here. Let me create that. Dot locking. Okay. So here we are going to create that particular class. Let's say it's a counter class where this block, increment block, it's a synchronized, and we are incrementing this count variable. This count variable, it's an integer variable, and we have created one get method which will be return the count, incremented count over here. Next, we are going to create one main method where we are going to create multiple threads, and then we are going to call this particular method from the thread. So for that, we are going to create one class over here. Let me create that, and we are going to create this main method. Okay. Now over here in the main method, we are going to create one counter class over here, right? And then we are going to create two threads that increment the counter. First one thread is like this one, like thread t1 equals to new thread, and here we are using one loop where it will be iterate from the 0 to 1000, and we are increment the variable. Similar way, we are going to create another thread where doing the similar kind of functionalities. It will also increment from the 0 to 1000, and then we are going to increment this one. Then we are going to start this T1 and T2 both thread. We are going to start over here T1 and T2, and then we are going to join these two thread. After that, we are going to print the value of the count. So as it is a synchronized block, it will throw the exception. Let me throw this one, interrupted exception. So a final count will be the 2000. Let me run this application. So the final count will be the 2000, right? Because we are using the synchronized block, this block will be the synchronized block, right? So that means if as we are starting this thread, so that means it will doing the increment at a time one thread can access this one, and it will basically increase, right? So that's why we are getting the 2000 increment. So this increment method is marked as synchronized, so only one thread can execute it at the time. T1 and T2 both increment the count variable, but the synchronized block ensure no data corrupt occurs. The final count will always be 2000 if locking implemented correctly. Next, we are going to apply the similar kind of feature using reentrant lock. So reentrant lock actually provide the more flexibility compared to synchronize and allow explicit lock and unlock the operation. So for that, we are going to create like another class like safe counter. Okay. Let's say we can create another class actually, that is safe counter. Okay. Here if you see that we have used this re-enter lock, right? And then here in this, within this incremented method, we are using this slightly different kind of logic. First of all, we need to do the logic, and within the try method we are incrementing this one, and then finally we need to unlock this one. It will basically release the lock, right? And then finally we can get the count. So this is actually basically is the safe counter. And next we are going to create one main method like reentrant example, new class, reentrant example, main method over here. Okay, so we are going to create one object or instance of this safe counter, right? Next, similar approach, we are going to create the thread, and then we are going to start this two thread and also join the thread, right? So those are similar kind of things like thread t1 equals to new thread. Here you are using the for loop from 0 to 1000, and then we are increment the counter. Similar kind of thread t2. Here we are also doing the similar kind of functionalities. Then we are going to t1 the start, t2 start, and then we need to join these two. Okay, and finally we are print the counting, right? So here re-enter lock allows finer control with its lock and the unlock methods. So here if you see that, like here we are doing the lock, in the finally block we are unlocking the whatever lock it is. The finally block actually ensure the lock is released even if any exception occur during critical section. So let me run this application. Again it will print the final count will be 2000. So if you see, the final count will be 2000. Now like the key differences between this synchronize and the re-enter lock, because both are doing the similar kind of functionalities, right? Then what is the key difference? Synchronize is basically easier to use but is less flexible, whereas re-enter lock is offered advanced feature like fairness, try lock and interruptible locking. Both examples achieve the same outcome but shows different ways to implement locking in Java. So this is all about this locking one in just for the beginner. If you guys have anything, please do let me know in the comment section. Don't forget to subscribe my channel. Please press the bell icon for further notification. Thanks for your time. See you in my next videos. Bye bye.